Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's important video, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope your day is going way better than fantastic. And your journey to self-betterment is going way better than fantastic as well. Today, I want to talk about something very important. And it's something we touched on in the last video. And it's how there are so many things in our society that are shown to be good for us. Or the only option we have. Or the only option we are given. But it turns out to be destructive to our lives. And sadly, these many things are pumped and pumped and pumped into our society. Here's one for instance. Doesn't it seem most if not all of the avenues where you once met someone you could partner up with are gone? I hear so many people saying, I wish I could be so in love like that old couple I watched hold hands at the park today. Well, I have news for you. They likely met when they were quite young in school. They probably lived near each other and seen each other in one way or another for several years before they even thought of dating. So simply put, they were able to vet each other. And even though that's not foolproof, it's way better than what we have today. Back then. And it's not to look at it through rose-colored glasses. But you could tell if someone was kind or if they had a temper in many cases. Not all cases. If you knew them for many years growing up. Way before they had the skill to hide their bad traits well. Though some youngsters can hide their evil. But for the most part, that skill comes with experience and time. And there might be mistakes made along the way one might be able to pick up on. Again. Not perfect but better than what we have today. But again. It seems like most of the avenues to meet and vet someone over a long period of time are almost gone. And what do we have to replace the normal ways to meet someone and vet them? Dating apps. Dating apps. And they are pushed. And there are commercials left and right for these things. Showing people in love and having great relationships. But if you talk to most people, they've had nothing but horror stories on these things. And there's always some sort of news story coming out about how someone was robbed, or attacked, or even worse. Both men and women are equal targets on these sites, and if you choose to use them, to be very, very careful. With that said, I wouldn't use them. It's just not worth it. And there have been several experts that have said that the chances of meeting a personality disordered person on such a site is extremely high. As that's where they find it easy to snag new prey. But again, with all of the commercials, dating apps are seen as attractive and the new wave. But the end result for most isn't very good at all. Yet it appears to be all we are given on how we can connect with others. And is being pushed as the norm. The other thing is this high-value man thing. I recently watched part of Kevin Samuel's stream last night. And there was a part where he was trying to tell several women on his show that there is nothing wrong with an average earning man. He gave these women a scenario. You have to choose. Die alone. Be with a man that makes $40,000 a year. Or be with a high-value man and she will be one of his 10 women and she only gets every other Tuesday. Then you see the pain in their face. Because they want this so-called high-value man on the terms society has sold to them. Not on the terms of what reality in the world really is. And then when they said, well, I will pick the average earning man. They nearly all said they would push him into making more money. But again, which is pushed on people as a society? The keeping up with the Kardashian lifestyle. You see, there was a time that this rich and famous thing seemed so far away for most. There were only a select few in the world that would get up and leave to evil Hollywood to try to become a part of what they were seeing on television. We now know there were many terrible things that a great many had to do to get such positions and movie roles. But what has been pumped into society for the last several years is making such a lifestyle more relatable and accessible to the average person. Before Kim Kardashian, it was Paris Hilton. All they were doing was selling an image and a lifestyle. And the majority of average people bought it. Not understanding these people were already multimillionaires and in some cases billionaires. Or at least from billionaire families. Yet now you, the average person, is judging your life happiness based on the life rules these people that don't care about you are setting. I remember when that Paris Hilton thing was catching on. And it seemed like everyone's expectations of life went through the roof. And what happened as a result? The grass is always greener effect got even worse in the world. Especially the Western world. Where divorces went sky high. Mainly so a great many could chase a fantasy that wasn't even real. Only to be hurt and disappointed. And to hurt their family as a result. Yesterday we talked about the gangster life. You see. I think those that pump this message know. Even if they make the lifestyle look dangerous and ugly. If there are some fun intoxicating moments shown about the life. That is the main thing that will stick in a great many people's brain. Especially a bunch of young people that have little guidance. And sometimes even if they do have guidance. There was a young man that grew up in a very good home that went out and watched Scarface when it came out. And even though Tony Montana met a terrible end in that movie. There were enough glamorous moments in that movie that swayed this young man that he could make such a go in that life. Well, he was eventually arrested and sentenced to a long time in prison. He seemed to understand he got swept up. Everything seemed cool. But it was all a trap. Then we talked about the ex-mafia boss here on YouTube that has a channel telling young people to turn to God and to not get swept up by the glamour you see in such movies about the mafia or anything that has to do with being a gangster. And even he admits. There were some people he liked and even loved in that life. And there were some funny enjoyable moments that you can have in any area of life. But in the end, it ruined his entire family. From his mother to father to his brother and sisters. It just ruined them. Now he has a second chance with his wife and his own children. But his family of origin he grew up in. Completely and utterly ruined. And as he's mentioned. Everyone else like him. They all were or are in the same boat. An utterly destroyed life. So why do we get nothing but bad images portrayed as good? But the end result is our lives get destroyed. No matter it be by divorce. Losing our children. Losing our money. Or in some people's cases jail. Prison or the end of their life. If these things are destroying our society. Why do those that are the movers and shakers spend billions to push that mess on us? Well, let's talk about it. However, I know that I'm a little cartoon guy. But I will be leaving a message for Mr. Michael Franzese on one of his videos asking him to go more in depth regarding this problem. He's a Christian man that is really trying to do the right things. Maybe he might see my comment. Maybe he won't. Maybe it will spark a good video for him to do on the topic. Maybe it won't. But here's the thing, people. The more people that can wake up, the better. And this is something we need to talk about and call out. God is being removed from our lives. And then evil is being pumped into every corner of our lives. And we might be able to see it. But there are others that are still blind because they don't have the information. So let's keep the conversation going. You all are awesome. Some fantastic comments and ideas I've seen from you all. So please keep up the good work. So for now, I think this is a good place to stop. But please let me know what you think in the comment section below. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.